Guys, what's up? How's it going? And my name is John. In this video, I want to share with you my top 3 Virtual Boy games for the system. Granted, in North America, only 14 games came out, and if you include Japan, it jumps to 22. So there aren't many games that came out for it. It's kind of considered like the ugly stepchild of Nintendo consoles and systems. Some people consider it a handheld, some people consider it a console. What is it? It's kind of awkward. And when I grew up in Seattle area, Seattle, Washington, and because Nintendo is based there in Redmond, they had a huge push for the Virtual Boy. And I remember I was in high school at the time, or I think I might have been in 8th grade when the system came out. And I remember going to the mall, and they had a huge promo area where they had a big demo kiosk for Virtual Boy. I got a really cool button that's all in 3D. I still have that somewhere. And anyway, long story short, I remember just having a lot of good memories of checking this out. I have one loose, I have one in box that I kept unopened, that this is unopened, and I also have a charger, external charger, which is kind of hard to find as well. And there are some really terrible games for the Virtual Boy, but there's also some really good ones. So without any further ado, I'm going to share with you my top 3. Thanks for watching. 3 on my list is Mario Clash. This is kind of like a sequel and a follow-up to the original Mario Brothers Arcade. If you've ever played that, I definitely recommend this one. It is a little bit different though, because you can throw turtle shells where you couldn't do that in the original arcade, but definitely the premise is there from the arcade. And when I first played this in '95 when it first came out, it reminded me of the arcade. And what Nintendo did a really good job with this game is using the 3D effect, and unfortunately the capturing the gameplay, you don't get that 3D effect like you would if you were actually playing a Virtual Boy system. The game was developed by Nintendo R&D 1 team with the leadership of Gunpei Yokoi, which Gunpei Yokoi and unfortunately passed away years after this, but he was very instrumental in developing the original Game Boy system, the Virtual Boy system, and later on went to create the Wonder Swan handheld as well. This is number 3 on my list. It's called Mario Clash. Oh, how I wish Nintendo would have released a 2D Mario game platformer for the Virtual Boy. That did not happen, however, we did get the next best thing. It's called Wario Land. This is a sequel to the Super Mario Land 3 that came out a year earlier in 1994 for the Game Boy. This game is a really fun 2D platformer. It's similar to a Mario 2D platformer, though it's different. There's different power-ups. You can get this dragon head, which can spit out fire, which is kind of cool. You can get this ram, it's like Viking head, skull head, where you can actually ram things, which is unique. And this went on to spur a bunch of different Wario games, Wario Land games, and of course later on you got the WarioWare series. And what Nintendo once did a really good job once again doing is making great use of the 3D. There were parts of the game where you can jump in the background, as you can see here. And years later, Retro Studios, who developed parts of the Metroid Prime series as well as Donkey Kong Country Return series, really utilized this element in Donkey Kong Country Returns, where you can actually jump in the background and back to the foreground as I just did here. Definitely a fun game to check out. It does get hard and challenging later on, which I enjoy. It's what I call retro hard. This is number 2 on my list. I have to give an honorable mention, and that would go to Space Invaders by Taito. There weren't many third-party publishers for the Virtual Boy, but this is a really good one. I believe this is Taito's only one for their Virtual Boy. And what this is Space Invaders, which is obviously a very classic arcade game. This is a 2-in-1 game. They have a 3D version and a 2D version you can play. I'm showing you the 3D version because I think this is the better of the two. And really great use, once again, of the 3D graphics. It's a gameplay that you understand, but it really works. And when it's in 3D, it looks incredible. It sounds incredible. What Taito does here, and they continue to do with the series, Space Invaders series, is they keep upping at the ante and making them better and better with keeping to the core value of what the original game was. So, unfortunately, because this only came out in Japan, the game is super sought after and hard and very expensive to find if not for the Virtual Boy. Unfortunately, there's no region lock on the Virtual Boy, so if you do get a copy, you can play it on your North America unit as well. Finally, number 1 on my list is a packing game. It is a classic. It's Mario's Tennis. This game came with the Virtual Boy, and what a great choice for a game with the Virtual Boy. Great use of the 3D graphics where he shows it off, and all the characters you can choose, all Mario characters of course, are also players in Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo, minus Bowser, which Surprisingly, you can't play as Bowser in Mario's Tennis. When this game came out, they had advertised that you can play this 2-player with a cable link. The idea was to connect 2 Virtual Boys through the cable link, kind of like with the Game Boy. You can play 2-player. That would have been really cool if that was released. Unfortunately, the Virtual Boy was so short-lived, never saw the light of day. That would have been really cool. Nonetheless, this is a really fun game, and this is actually, believe it or not, the first Mario Tennis game released in the series. After this, Mario Tennis was released on multiple platforms after this, but this is my favorite port by far. Again, great use of the 3D graphics. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know, what are your thoughts about the Virtual Boy? Leave a comment below. Did I miss something? Would you like to add something? Appreciate those comments. Subscribing means a lot, guys. Thank you. I appreciate also liking this video, sharing it. We'll see you guys soon. Take care, and game on.